Summer 2022 is looking to be on paper one of the most legendary seasons of anime in years. I've been watching a decent amount of seasonal anime for the past couple years and can pretty confidently say this will go down as one of the all-time great ones. I'm going to briefly run down some heavy hitters and everything this season getting underway has that is interesting to me. Let's get into it. You've got Sword Art, One Piece, Yuri Camp movies all coming out. I'm not a huge fan of these shows in general, so movies don't really interest me, but I'm aware a ton of people are huge fans of all of these titles. Onas and Ovas are usually skippable. There are two that could be fun for fans that just want more. I really wish Arifureta was good, but this title has completely lost my interest. The second season was a glorified harem sim, which is unfortunate since the first season showed some promise. This is something you can watch if you still enjoy the show. Let's start with probably one of the biggest things coming out this season that have people's interest. We have the long-awaited return of our favorite Demon Lord turned Burger King employee, Sato, in The Devil is a Part-Timer. I remember when I was first really getting into anime, I watched this. It was pretty funny and interesting seeing a Demon Lord get transported to what is essentially our world and trying to live out a normal existence. I can't say I'm the most impressed with the animation from the trailer, but as long as the show delivers an entertaining story that's funny, I can get over that. You ever known someone that's told you they know a low-key anime no one's watched, then say something like Naruto or Bleach? Well, I can guarantee I know this one's low-key. Utawaru Ramono is quite possibly the greatest anime you've never heard of, and yes, somehow we're getting another season. Not just that, it's slotted for 28 episodes, which is next to unheard of in the modern day of 12 episode seasons. Man, how do I even explain this show without ruining it? Many shows put themselves in some sort of box that you can generally understand where the plot is heading, but not Utawaru Ramono. This show surprises you. It's not on the nose and doesn't pull an ergo proxy with the complexity overwhelming you. The finale of the previous season was quite the cliffhanger, and knowing that the show is returning is really exciting for me. I know a lot of people don't have interest for this show, but I just really personally wanted to talk about it. To save some time, I'll just lump all the fantasy isekai middle of the pack shows all together. Kuro no Shukasi, Tensei Kanja no Isekai Life, Vermeil and Gold, and some isekai harem show, but they all fit in that category for me. I just can't break away from this genre. I'm chronically addicted to mediocre isekai and MMOs, which mean I'll end up watching these and probably be dissatisfied per usual. Maybe one of them will be decent, which leads me into the next two animes. Overlord is finally returning for the 4th season.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Which means we're back in the saddle, boys. Ignore all the chronic nonsense from earlier. Isekai is back on the menu. Until recently, I would have said Overlord was the best isekai ever. However, Mushoku Tensei slid into that slot, getting number 1. Still, this is one of my top shows I've watched, so I'm looking forward to see more of Ainz Algon and the rest of the cast from the Great Tomb of Nazarick. I've been looking forward to this all year, and even more so after watching the Skeletal Knight anime from last season, which was just a knockoff of Ainz as an adventure. Finishing up the fantasy genre is another season of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people gave up on this anime or just lost interest about how bad the second season was. However, for those like me that decided to give season 3 one more chance, you'd be excited for this next season. Season 3 has been the best season so far, and if the show continues with that same level, this could be a really good watch. On the other hand, if we regress back to its low point, I just don't think I can stick with this show after that. It's easier to finish up a mediocre season than a show I've been invested in for some time. We'll just have to wait and see how it turns out and hope for the best. Since we're already talking about popular shows, let's talk about Classroom of the Elite. I don't know why or how this show is so popular, but it's honestly just not that good. I know, don't crucify me. It just doesn't stand out from all the similar show concepts. Nothing really unique that sparks my interest. Don't take it the wrong way, it's not necessarily a bad show, and I'll likely watch it, but I'm not about to watch the newest season and come out of it adding it to my favorite animes of all time. If you're a fan of it, I hope you enjoy it. Don't let my personal interest impact yours. I'll likely watch some of the season as it airs, and hey, maybe my opinion will change. The maid I hired previously is mysterious. Not going to lie, seeing Square Enix's name attached to this does potentially interest me after how great My Dress Up Darling was, but I think this will be a hard pass for me. I'm gonna drop my prediction that this will probably be the anime Twitter finds and tears into. At this point, it's a seasonal tradition that at least one anime has to offend a group of people on that site. Call of the Night. On first glance, I didn't really have much interest in this. However, I talked to someone familiar with the manga and they were really excited for this show to the point it was like a top 3 watch for them. I've always been intrigued by the supernatural animes and hope for the best, but very often the genre just lets you down. It's a very difficult genre to get right. The last one I watched was Vanitas, which I came very close to dropping altogether after the first season, but ended up having some free time and gave the second season a shot. A decision I don't regret in the slightest. With the skyline in the trailer, I was reminded of Boogie Pop, so I think I'll be giving this a shot. I don't believe this is correct, but I heard something about the mangaka being a really big fan of this anime, and he based Jean off one of the main characters in this show, but that's kinda cool. Now, when I was writing down all my impressions of summer 2022, the anime adaptation of RWBY was on there. However, it looks like it was moved to spring. Since that season's pretty much over, I'll just talk about it here. As someone that a couple years ago watched a lot of videos that came out from Rooster Teeth, I fell in love with this show for the first 3 seasons. With the death of Monty and the quality of the show taking a turn after that, I kinda just stopped caring. I became nostalgic thinking back on the show with everything that was in the trailer. I don't know what to expect from this. I think I want to at least give it a shot to see, and especially with the chance to see a Japanese animated fight scene. Let's talk about Orient. If you didn't watch the first season of Orient, you should, and then give the second season a shot. TLDR, Orient is essentially Gurren Lagann Light combined with Bleach's Zanpakuto Toes. Orient isn't unique, but is pretty solid for scratching a certain itch that anime really hasn't been tackling a lot lately, or at least for me. Alright, now we're into the finale. We're going to be talking about some big Titan animes that people are looking forward to. Rent-a-Girlfriend Season 2 is finally here, and I'm not excited. After reading the manga, it was like voluntarily waterboarding myself with a huge range of emotions. All the excitement I once had for the second season was crushed after I read 220 chapters, with pretty much absolutely nothing happening in regards to the romance. I get it. Anime and manga romance is drawn out. We can't have nothing here. I would at this point blame the genre, but then I read Nagatoro and the progression is like night and day. Maybe I just don't have the same level of patience as some people. I think if you're someone that likes Kaguya-sama, this could be an anime you'd be interested in. I'll give it a shot. I'm just kind of exhausted with the story. A title that is massively popular that the interest in the second season fails to showcase. Made in Abyss. Season 2 is finally here, and after 2 years since the movie and 5 years since the original season aired, I'll be honest, I'm a hater. I did not think the first season was that great, and I have yet to watch the movie, but I think I've got to do it. Very often my opinion of anime does not match the consensus, but so many people that opinions I value recommend this show. I feel obligated to give it a shot just based on that. I hope expectations for the people that love Made in Abyss are somewhat met, and I'll say again, don't let my opinion change yours. I will have to go back and watch the movie. You have to watch the movie before watching the second season. If there was something from this season that you had high hopes for that I didn't talk about, or have a take to change my mind on something that I may have dissed, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see the channel grow and for me to become more active, leave a like and subscribe.